to the show Fun with Studies. In today we are going to learn about the medieval world. Introduction. The term medieval has been derived from the Latin word medius, and avium, which means middle age. Thus, it is that period of Indian history which falls between the ancient period and the modern period. This is divided into two parts: the early medieval period, 8th to 18th century. The Palas, Cholas, etc. were powerful dynasty during this period, and the late medieval period, 13th to 18th century. It covered the rules of Turks, Afghans, and Mughals. There are many names of India. Let's learn it. Country is commonly referred to as Bharat, India, or Hindustan. It is, however, interesting to note that India was known by different names at different points in history. Bharatvarsha and Jammu are two of the earliest names by which a country was known in ancient times. India was also known as the land of people who lived along the river Sindhu. The Sanskrit word Sindhu was pronounced Hindu in Old Persian, and Hindu in French became Indi. In the it is were pronounced this word came into English as India. The way we understand Hindustan now is quite different from what it was understood in medieval times. For example, according to some medieval scholars, Hindustan comprises the territories that they were a part of the Delhi Sultanate, and on the other hand, Babur, the founder of the Mughal Empire, used the term Hindustan to describe the geography and natural vegetation of the subcontinent. It was only in the 19th century, during the British Raj, Hindustan came to be used since and synonymally with India. Some major development in India. Major changes took place in Hindustan. During this period, many new temples were constructed. People began to worshipping many new Delta Islam, a new religion, were introduced in India. Due to greater interaction of India with other countries, trade flourished. This in turn led to the rise of towns and new cities. Sources. Historians have gathered the information from various sources such as inscriptions, coins, sculpture, and building, painting, historical writing, etc. There are two types of archaeology source. The two types, archaeology source and literary source. Archaeology sources are sources that are inscriptions and coins, and literary sources are sources that are written in paper. In medieval period, there are more literary sources than ancient period, as in ancient period, there were no written records, but in literary source, there are more written records, including the circular ones. Archaeological sources. Inscriptions are written engraved on hard surfaces like stones, pillar rocks, etc., which gives us the glimpse of history of the period. Coins give us names of kings and queens who issued those coins. They have the historical to verify dates about the rule of the king. Sculpture and building, monuments and ancient buildings, including temples, tell us about religion practices, social and economic condition, etc. of the period. Painting tell us about food habit, dresses, jewelry, customs, festival, and celebration of the important event of the period. Literary sources. Literary sources include plays, novels, epics. Biographies are stored in achieved museums and libraries. Important biographies tell us about important facts or ruler. It gives a detailed and picture of life during the period. There is one more. Autobiography also tell us about the rulers that were written by rulers only. There is a major difference between biographies and autobiographies. Biographies are those that are written by other court poems or other people, and autobiographies are biographies that are written by the kings themselves and people themselves. Chronicles. A chronicle is a record of rules of the king and life at the court. Most kings had chroniclers who wrote in detail about what happened during their reign. Most of these are written in Persian and Turkish. Example, Ratnagini by Khalana is a history of kings of Kashmir. Travelogues. Many foreigners, travelers who visited India during the medieval period, their travelogue gave us lots of information about the places they visited and people they met. Example, Ali Burani, who came from Central Asia. Thank you, and don't forget to subscribe our channel.